but going live. Oh, you're live. Okay. Well, I'm not actually expecting anybody to come and watch this, so I wanted to do a bit of an update about where I am with my heart. So it's kind of this thing like, how do you know when you're blessed, I suppose? Because 7 weeks ago, I was given probably the worst information ever. Some pretty grim news. I had a shortened life expectancy. I was diagnosed with a triple valve failure. So the main valve, the aorta, the mitral valve, and the tricuspid valve were failing. And there wasn't much, 3 valves all giving up the ghost. At the same time, I was also advised that 3 of my arteries inside the actual heart were quite severely damaged and blocked. So what I was looking at was complete heart failure and worsened by the fact that with the problems inside the artery, it was also a heart disease. Was pretty evident. I mean, at the time, Si and I were, while we were wishing for the best and hoping for the best, I also wanted to be sure that if something was to happen and I wasn't to make it, that he was going to be looked after and that he would know what I wanted done and that it would be okay, you know. I was advised by my doctor at the time that having a triple valve replacement and a triple bypass, when I was already in a pretty weakened condition because of them, because I couldn't breathe, I couldn't lay flat in bed without coughing. Where I used to be able to walk 8 to 10 k's a day, I was lucky if I could take 8 to 10 steps. It was really bad. If I'd have tried to have the procedure where I had a triple bypass and a triple valve replacement, I was too weak to undergo the process. My heart wouldn't have made it. If they had to do it, they would have, and we would have just thrown the dice to see how it worked out. But what my doctor suggested at the time, I mean, when every other, where the only options that we've got are evasive, like actually cutting the heart open, evasive kind of heart procedures, he suggested, thank you, that we do a Tavi, which is replacing the valve, but rather than having to cut the heart open and do a full replacement that way, what they wanted to do was to put the Tavi up through my main artery, through the groin, and put the replacement valve in that way. It's called a cardiac catheterization. So that was going to fix. Well, a Tavi is what they were going to put in there. It's like a little crown, actually. It's so cool. I mean, I always thought I deserved a crown. Now I've actually got one inside my heart. So the Tavi was going to be a valve replacement for my aorta. They also said at the time as if we can unblock at least one of the arteries by using that same cardiac catheterization. They could put a stint in. That would at least help unclog one of them. It may not, and this was a risk because if at any stage something had gone wrong while they were trying to do it, they might have had to rush me straight into theatre and would have to do the operation anyway. There was a chance that actually after the operation was done, there might be other reasons why it could fail. I could have failed on the thing. I mean, there was a huge chance I could have died on the table as well. I don't know. Yeah, and there's probably a part of me that takes that kind of stuff for granted because it's like, I suppose I know I'm not going to die on it. I've got the stupid saying, you can't kill weeds. So I said, go for it. I just didn't think it was going to be the way I'd go out. Anyway, today we had I was asked on Friday to come in today for an echocardiogram in cardiology. And for anybody that doesn't know it, trying to get an echocardiogram at a hospital when you're an outpatient could take you months. I got called on Friday to come in on Monday. I had the echocardiogram and I was straight in. And what it showed was the aorta valve is working just as they would expect after having a new replacement valve put in. The other two valves, the mitral and the tricuspid, are fine. There's no regurgitation, so they're opening wide and closing properly. There's no blood going either way, which was happening before. One was open and wouldn't close, and the other one was closed and wouldn't open. So they're both working really well. And it's thought that with the aorta being able to take a lot of the work back on, it's taken the stress off the other two, which worked. And it was the same thing with at least just putting a stint in one of the arteries. So the two valves that they had to replace right now don't look like they need to be replaced. They're working fine. It doesn't mean that I'm perfect. My heart's still really weak. But it's in a lot better place now than it ever was. The cardiographer that did the test tonight was the same person who did the original cardiogram when I first came in. And she was blown away. She couldn't believe what she was seeing. I even got a phone call from my doctor, Jonathan White. When he first started talking to me about, could we try this procedure? And I was like, yes. And I did say at the time, I'll do whatever it takes to give this procedure the best chance ever. And it's worked. My heart's still weak, still going to need some time to strengthen, but we're out of the blacklist. Like there's still probably a chance that something could go wrong tomorrow. But it proved it worked. To the point where this Friday I'm going to be attending a cardiologist or cardio conference at one of these hotels in Auckland to discuss what happened. And it's not that I've got any expertise, but it's about what they think is that if the doctors get to hear from someone who actually went through the procedure, came out the other side, and is feeling so much better. I mean, as soon as I'd had these procedures, I could start eating. I had a proper hunger. I wasn't throwing up. Anyway, in a short amount of time, I'm back on my feet again and starting to get even better. So just to let you guys all know, at least for right now, things are fantastic. Is it perfect? No. But I'm a lot bloody better than I was. And probably the only way I was going to lose a lot of weight, not that I went from 120 something to 91 kilos when I came out. So, heart failure. It worked for me. Maybe it could work for you too. Anyway, that's just my kind of update. And loving you guys and hoping that this story goes even better. Because if this procedure worked for me, I'd love to see it work for other people. Anyway, thank you so much. Love you all, and Ka kite.